Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So one day after the Iranian attack on Israel, Hamas submitted their response for the Israeli proposal to the mediators regarding a ceasefire. I'm not sure if Hamas timed it and waited for the Iran retaliation, that's if they knew, but they just released it today, literally within the last couple of hours. They obviously previously stated that they show leniency when it comes to the negotiations and that they're willing to give and take, but there are key elements that they won't back down on, and they previously also stated that Israel sometimes translates Hamas's leniency as weakness and tries to capitalize on it. But now they had their latest response to the proposal after they consulted all of the Palestinian resistance movements, primarily the PIJ. It's not looking very different from what Hamas previously proposed, but they have a couple of small differences. Number one, the initial stages, there's still 3 stages, but they're down from 45 to 42 days. Still 3 stages. The first stage includes withdrawal of Israeli forces to the points that are near the separation areas between Israel and Gaza. That's the remaining forces, obviously. There's also an assumption that some of this massive withdrawal that happened was a prerequisite between Israel and Hamas, but it wasn't declared as an agreement between the two. I assume that to be the case because we had many similar cases previously. Also, more kind of freedom of movement for the population to North Gaza, like we saw a lot of movement of the Palestinian people in Shari' al-Rashid, the Rashid Street, which is a coastal street that connects North and South Gaza. Obviously, Israel still fired at some people, but there's bigger presence of people. However, so the first one is first stage withdrawal to the areas near the separation parts between Israel and Gaza. That's the remaining forces, obviously. The Nahal Brigade or any special forces that remain in Gaza or are active in Gaza. Return of those who were evacuated to the north with full freedom of movement. That's very important to Hamas, not just going back, but having freedom of movement in the north. So Hamas are still sticking very much to people going back to the north of Gaza. Then declaring a complete ceasefire before the second stage and the beginning of the prisoner exchange between Hamas and Israel, which will be as follows according to Hamas's proposal. So number one, second stage, full withdrawal from all of Gaza. They begin to have the prisoner exchange. Every Israeli citizen will be 30 Palestinians will be released for every Israeli citizen that is still held by Hamas and the Palestinian resistance. 50 Palestinians for each female soldier, each Israeli female soldier held by Hamas, 30 of which have to have life sentences. So Hamas want to make sure that the heavy sentence prisoners are released. Then lifting restrictions on all of those imprisoned following the 7th of October, because Israel did release some prisoners on the 7th of October, but they had some restrictions on them. They re-imprisoned some of them. So Hamas to them is like, you have to lift all of these restrictions. And the third phase includes ending the siege, a confirmation from Israel that the siege will completely be lifted off Gaza and rebuilding Gaza. Very minor changes. Again, Hamas is sticking to the key points, but they're still showing the other side that they're willing to give and take. However, the core things to do with the complete Israeli withdrawal, complete ending of the war, getting all of the people back into the north, getting aid in, and obviously rebuilding Gaza. They are still, all of them are there. We have minor changes when it comes to certain elements, certain little details when it comes to this, but not with the core elements that they requested previously. And this was the main thing that I wanted to talk to you about in this video, and I will see you soon in the next video. Take care.